Today I have got good news for you, I've got bad news for you, I've got game-changing news, and it's all the same news item coming out of Princess Cruises, so I'm going to let you know what that is, and we're going to talk about it. So let's go ahead and get started. Hi there, this is Allison with Let's Go Travel Tips. Today is Friday, it is April 19th of 2024, and Princess Cruises has just made the announcement that they are going to delay the inaugural sailing for the beautiful new Star Princess from August 4th of 2025 to October 4th of 2025. Now, this is really big news, and I am really excited that we are receiving this news today rather than any closer to that sailing. The news that Princess has announced, they are changing the inaugural sailing not only from August 4th of 2025, but they are canceling the other cruises that are in the window there that we're going to be sailing in the Mediterranean, because it really tightens up the amount of time that they've got between the inaugural and when the ship is going to be sailing for United States to start its season in the Caribbean there. So first of all, in the announcement, Princess said, we got the email because we were booked on that inaugural. It says, we are pleased to inform you that we have moved your booking to the new inaugural voyage scheduled to commence on October 4th of 2025. It is going to be an 11-day voyage rather than the original 9 days, and it is going to be round trip out of Barcelona rather than round trip out of Rome. Now, let me know if you happen to be booked on that cruise, if they have already moved you over. I have checked our cruise personalizer and I have looked at the app, and we have not been moved over, but we have a little bit of a glitch. We have another cruise in Asia that we were going to go, and it overlaps a little bit. So initially I was really excited and thought maybe we could do the inaugural on the Star Princess and then hurry up and fly to Japan, but we can't. It overlaps. And so I'm going to need a call and see what's going on with ours. Gordon and I need to talk about it, but I think we're probably going to cancel our cruise that we've got booked now and move to the inaugural on the Star Princess. And so Princess is giving people options on how they can handle this. If you're booked on that August 4th inaugural, you can either just take a refund and get your money back, or you can keep them moving you over to the new inaugural. Just go ahead and go in October. October 4th is a beautiful time to be in the Mediterranean. It is still very, very warm. It is not cold. It's still late. It is a beautiful time of year to go. It's not quite the crowds that you have at the high season like would have been in August. And so don't worry. It's a beautiful, beautiful time to go. If I had to choose going in October or going in March when we went this year to see the Sun Princess, and I wouldn't trade that for anything, but October is an even nicer time to travel there. Now, they, in addition to being able to keep that sailing, you can also just get your money back. If you want to just have a refund, you can have a refund. The other thing you can do is if you want to take the amount of money that you have already paid, so basically your deposit, and turn that into a future cruise credit with Princess, then they will give you, on the cruise that you book with that future cruise credit, $100 of onboard credit per stateroom. So that's your perk for just letting it remain with them for a future cruise credit. The thing you need to keep in mind is you need to book the cruise with Princess that you want to sail on by November 30th of 2024, and you need to sail by November 30th of 2025. Okay, so that's important to keep in mind. And I would just take the future cruise credit if you know that you're going to want to go on another Princess cruise soon. If you're not really sure, I would just get your money back, and then you don't have to worry about it. Another quick note that I wanted to tell you is they've renamed 3 cruises as the 3 inaugural cruises. So they've got that 11-day that is going to go on October 4th. October 15th, they are running another round trip out of Barcelona cruise that will be 7 days. And then on October 22nd, the Star Princess will be departing from Barcelona for the transatlantic to arrive in Fort Lauderdale. She is due to arrive in Fort Lauderdale on November 5th, and she will have her first sailing in Fort Lauderdale on November 10th of 2025. And I happen to have group space on the first 2 sailings there in the United States. The first is a 5-day and the next is a 7-day. And If you think that it would be fun to do a group, then put it in the comments. I grabbed it a long time ago. Gordon and I are actually booked on those cruises, booked that a long time ago. Let me know what you think, okay? Because I've had a hard time deciding what to do about that. Now let's talk about this a little bit. We've got this situation here, and I am really, 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 really pleased with Princess for going ahead and making this decision this far out. It makes a really big difference to find out that your sailing is moved a year and a half out rather than at the last minute like happened with the Sun Princess. Another thing that I am really happy about is the crew members. When we were on board the Sun Princess, I had the opportunity of talking actually to several crew members that had been on board the ship for the startup and had experienced pitching in literally much more than you would even probably usually have to do in such a tight time frame to do everything that was needed to be done to have that ship ready to go. Because you have the construction workers that are doing all the constructing work, but then there is so much more that has to be done to have that ship ready. And so I think it will be hopefully a lot less stressful for the crew members who are on board and getting everything ready to go. I know they had a lot arrive to start in January and the ship was not even ready to receive them, so they ended up having to be put up somewhere else and waiting, and this surely will be a better situation for the crew members as well. Another really important perk, if you know, I always try to look for the silver lining. So when you look for the silver lining on this, two things really strike me. First of all, October, like I said, is a really nice time to cruise in the Mediterranean. It gets us out of that intense heat of August for the people that were worried about that and quite as many crowds. And another thing that I think is really a big deal in thinking about this is that by the time she sets sail, they will be ready to receive passengers on board theoretically. And by the time she comes to the United States, she will be further along in being ready than the Sun Princess is at this point in her cruising life. Does that make sense? So I think it bodes really well for where we are going to be boarding for the inaugural, as well as all of the consecutive cruises after that. There's a few things that I want you to all think about when you try to decide if you want to book an inaugural cruise. We have talked about this a lot more lately because of what happened with the Sun Princess. But if you're looking at that Star Princess in October in the Mediterranean and trying to decide what to do, a few things, don't forget these things. First of all, if you book an inaugural, you've just got to make sure you're really flexible. If anything gets canceled, you're okay. If anything on the ship isn't running completely, you're okay. If you're just ready to go and enjoy where you're visiting and see a brand new ship, that's wonderful. You can do it. The other thing is to make sure that you've got your insurance in place so that if anything happens, that last minute you have to cancel your flights, your hotels, that you've thought about that in advance and you're prepared for it. Another thing that I want you to kind of think about here is the whole thing of an inaugural cruise. Now, really, the closest thing that Gordon and I have ever experienced to an inaugural cruise was just getting to sail on part of that second sailing of the Sun Princess. We've talked here a lot about epic voyages like the Antarctica one we're going to do and that Gordon and I have done before. We've talked about the Eclipse cruise, what an amazing voyage that was, and how it really is a special experience for everyone on the ship together. When we were on the Sun Princess, it was really exciting. And I was really very, very excited to go, so excited to go. But when I got on board, I was so happy to see everyone was abuzz with being on a new ship. Everyone was really excited to see everything, to experience everything, to think about it and see what they thought. It was a really big deal to be on a brand new ship and just see the whole thing. And so there is something to be said for that. And so if you're someone that you would enjoy that, then that's something you might want to keep in mind as well. So there's so much to think about, but it's all really exciting to get to go on a cruise, how blessed we are to be able to go on a cruise and have all of these things to think about. And so let me know in the comments if you were booked on that inaugural, if you're going to move over to that October 4th, if your sailing was canceled, what you think about sailing in November on the Star Princess, and just everything. It's very exciting. So thank you for joining me here today. If you haven't subscribed yet, will you please go ahead and hit that subscribe button? We need to have you with us. And if you appreciate my updates, would you please give this video a thumbs up? Thank you very much. I will see you all here again tomorrow, and I'll be talking to you all again really soon. You all take really good care. God bless you. Love you. Bye-bye.